Dirk Nowitzki finally speaks out, and after a year of reports highlighting how Dirk and the Dallas Mavericks organization have kind of been distancing themselves, where in the organization Dirk does have a role as an advisor. I mean, he has his own office in the AAC. We also have reports highlighting how the lights in that office have not been on in quite some time. The Dallas Mavericks have been through a lot over the last 2 years, and not having Dirk, our beloved superstar, around the team has left a lot of fans with a sour taste in their mouth. And just last week, Dirk gave his raw and honest thoughts about the organization, about the team, about how our offense is bad, we can't shoot. But he also gave some words of encouragement for Cooper Flagg. But just yesterday, he gave his even more rawest and honest opinions on Nico Harrison from firing him, when he thinks he should have been fired, and where does this team go from now. Dirk Nowitzki is a very busy person. He's on TV, he's on podcasts, he's in the public eye more now than ever before. So in this video, we're going to take a look at Dirk, see what he's been up to, what did he say last week about the team and Cooper Flagg, as well as what he had to say and what he really thinks about Nico Harrison. But how's it going, everybody? My name is Marcel Martin. This is Mavs Digest, bringing you the latest news on everything Mavericks related. And before we get started with today's video, we're currently sitting at 22,842 subscribers. The channel grows every single day. But if you want to be up to date on everything Mavericks related, from news vids, live streams, giveaways, rumors, trade reports, everything else in between, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on a single thing that we do. But the Dallas Mavericks are off to a pretty bad start to the season. Through our first 13 games, the team is 3-10 with some of the absolute worst offense that we've ever seen. The defense is very good, and it's hard to really say that when you watch some of these games where we're losing the majority of our games. But yes, we have a very good defensive team. We just can't generate shots. We can't convert on the offensive end, and that's our number one issue that a lot of people think that once Kyrie and AD come back, that problem will be fixed. But the real question is, I mean, it's not necessarily will it work when they come back. The question should be, when will they come back? But obviously, fans like you and I, we know these problems. We're watching the games. We see what's going on. It's almost as if we know how to fix it. But if we can make that obvious statement that we see that, then Dirk can too. And just last week, Dirk had this to say. He said, I feel bad for my Mavs fans. This has been a disastrous start. They can't shoot. They can't make plays. Nobody can make shots. It's been tough to watch. Dirk on the Mavs. And he's not wrong. Yes, it's been very tough to watch us on the offensive end. Like I said, on the defensive end, it's amazing. We can get stops. We can stop a team from scoring for several possessions. But it seems like we also stop ourselves from scoring for several possessions. But yes, we can't shoot as our three-point shooting is abysmal. I mean, Klay Thompson has been better over the last 2 games. D'Angelo Russell is hit or miss here or there. He did very good last night. His mid-range shot was amazing. He was honestly the reason why we were in that game, and even the reason why we made it to double overtime. But some nights our shooting is gone. Some nights it's there for a little bit, if at all. The Dallas Mavericks will get better moving forward. It will only take time, but we do have some issues and some areas of improvement that need to be focused on, but it all comes back down to the on the offensive end. And Dirk obviously can see that too. As he said, I'll just throw the quote back up. He said, nobody can make shots. It's been tough to watch. And I know a lot of Mavericks fans are mentally checked out at this point, but it doesn't stop there. As Dirk did have some words of encouragement for Cooper Flagg, saying, you work your way through it. Losing or not, you try to keep a positive attitude. Keep on working, my friend. Keep your head up and things will be okay. And that's always good to see. Knowing that we have this new era of Cooper Flagg, but we still have that old guard in Dirk Nowitzki. Not saying he is a guard, but just that old era of Dirk Nowitzki, who still is in some way, shape, or form involved with the team, despite everything that's happened this year. Is a good thing. I mean, a lot of people would wish that he was in the office. Like I said, he's busy. He's on Amazon Prime. He's podcasting. He's broadcasting. He's commenting. He's everywhere. He's in the public eye. So obviously, Dirk can't really be in the gym with us every day. But knowing that him and Cooper Flagg do have some form of relationship is a positive thing. It shows that going forward, Cooper Flagg has another asset, another person he can go to if he needs help, if he needs to learn something, or just to stay in touch with. It's a beautiful thing. But as we all know, this past Tuesday, the Dallas Mavericks made the decision to fire Nico Harrison. Didn't really waste that much time. We were only about 11 games in at the time of the firing. And Patrick Dumont didn't make that decision just by himself. We did learn that Mark Cuban and Jason Kidd had somewhat of a hand in Patrick finally making the decision to fire Nico Harrison. But yesterday, we did get a report that Dirk Nowitzki had some words to say about the firing of Nico and that whole situation itself. If we take a look right here, He said, Dirk Nowitzki on the Mavs firing Nico Harrison, saying this move should have probably happened this summer, honestly. I didn't want this negative energy over the Cooper Flagg era. The Luka trade, it made no sense to the fans, and really there was no explanation for it either. Dirk also said a lot more about it, how spoke more so on the negative energy. Obviously, the fans feel how they feel. The chants were everywhere, all over Dallas, all over sports since the trade, really, that Nico Harrison doesn't need to be on the Dallas Mavericks anymore as a GM. We can go in any direction we want as long as it's not with him. The idea of this team trying to win with Luka and then pivoting to win with Anthony Davis and things just not working, the Dallas Mavericks had to make a decision. Either you stick by what you're doing or you try to fix it or correct it in some way, shape, or form. And that's what they want to do. But obviously, from Dirk's quote, Dirk wasn't cool with the trade. Obviously, he's not cool with Nico Harrison. That would explain why he hasn't been around the organization, the reason why he just has been distancing himself. But with the firing of Nico Harrison and now this new Cooper Flagg era, it seems like Dirk is cool with coming back. Dirk wants to be involved more. I mean, he referred to the Mavericks as my Mavericks. So that does give you a little bit of happiness, a little bit of grace that things can look good for the Dallas Mavericks. I mean, overall, the organization has been through a lot. The fans have been through a lot. These games aren't looking that pretty. I mean, yes, we went to double overtime against the Clippers. The Clippers only had 3 wins before that game, same as us. So that really doesn't give you any confidence that things are really getting better. You can only look at it at a micro level, not necessarily a macro level. But overall, Dirk, he ain't like Nico. He's glad that he's glad that the firing happened. He actually wanted it to happen over the summer. He didn't want this bad energy going into the season, knowing that we have Cooper Flagg. But a lot of fans are happy about what Dirk had to say. They're happy that Dirk is speaking up and that he's on the side of the fans. And one person in particular, a name that we all know in the fan base, is slightly biased. And he went to Twitter to say this, saying, Mr. Mav, franchise GOAT, Dallas GOAT, my dad. I love this man. With Nico gone now and Dirk no longer being treated like an outcast, I'm ready to rip the Band-Aid off and turn the negative energy into positive support for Coop and the rest of the guys. And again, a lot of fans would echo that sentiment. It's good to know that Dirk is on the side of the fans and that we're not alone. We don't feel this way just because of our own emotions, that Dirk himself, Mark Cuban, Jason Kidd, a lot of other people that are closely tied to the organization all feel the same way. But to round up all of this, Dirk did finish his quote by saying it's time to move on now. Dirk Nowitzki on the Mavs firing GM Nico Harrison. And obviously we know that Michael Finley and others are going to be filling in that role until we hire somebody or someone gets promoted. But it is time to move on. There are going to be many more reports in the upcoming weeks that highlight a lot of things that were happening behind the scenes. We're going to talk about a lot more, but overall, it's time to move on. And moving on might mean just with Cooper Flagg. The Cooper Flagg era may be the direction that we have to go. We talked about this 2 timeline thing, and honestly, you got to pick one. One works, one doesn't. Which one is it? But let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Are you happy that Dirk is speaking up more for the Mavericks and the Mavericks fans? Do you like what he has to say, or you don't think Dirk is right? You think Dirk shouldn't speak and he should just focus on his job? If you think that, then hey, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. We'd have a conversation about it. But that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you for watching the video. Make sure to check out our Twitter and Discord. Links in the description below. And as always, y'all take care. Drink water. Peace.